Okay, open source live, open source live. All right, I'm just coming on a couple of minutes early because I just want to share this into my Facebook group. And I'm also not going to let this door creak. So I'm going to go fix the door. You can look at my window with a little bit of rain today. Rain is lovely, a nice rainy day. Kind of cozy. Kind of cozy, but also the door is going to creak. So there we go. Okay, whoa. Let's catch our necklace. Dangerous neckwear. So treated myself to a nice shirt. It's very flowery. It matches my curtains, which you can't see, but I'll show you. Right? Kind of fun. Okay, today's topic is kind of intense. It's kind of heavy. So I wanted to lighten it up with some floral work. I did a reading for a friend, which I will not get into the details about, but I will say, when I do readings, it's like this is what is being shown to you, and it's sometimes a little challenging for us to receive the truth, right? But being honest with ourselves, just telling ourselves the truth, it's a thing. It's a thing. So I'm going to share this into my group, which is the guided ones, which you're welcome to join. I just started posting back in there again, which has been quite lovely. It's a group I've had for many, many years. Welcome. So you're welcome to join us there. It's not a heavily I don't post in it super heavy, so you won't be bombarded. But yeah, okay. I made some notes this morning. I had some wild dreams. The word porous came to mind. And for some reason, there was this word porous. And I'm like, how would I describe porous? I'm like, it's space that you can pour things into, but it's also empty. So whatever that's supposed to mean in my dream, I have no idea. So do you have water? Are you drinking water? I'm going to drink lots of water. I may be belching and burping, but that's just energy moving through, right? When I sat with how do I begin another series of open source lives, it's like you begin at the beginning, which is the void. It's the place when you are entering a new iteration of yourself, of the truth of who you are, of that authenticity that exists in you that's been shadowed and shamed for most of our lives in small, insidious ways. What's left is the truth of who you are, and it feels naked sometimes, and it feels like lots of different things. So I'm just, if this resonates with you, it may be a place that you're kind of going through or have gone through, or you pass in and out of this void space from time to time. It feels like your feet aren't on the ground. It feels like there's a cord that you may float up, and at any point it could be snipped away and you can just float out into space. There's the sense of, I don't have the answers to the questions that I have, right? And I'm going to get to that in a little bit. It might feel like there's a heaviness or a weight in your mind, or your mind may be going really fast trying to source and search for answers, because that's what humans want. We want structure. We want something to hold us, right? Maybe that's why this word porous came to mind in my dream at 4 a.m. today. It may feel like depression. Let's just get that word out there. It may feel like the dark night of the soul. It may feel, especially for women in certain parts of your cycle, it may feel more intense. And you may have this idea that you're out of it because, of course, what happens when we have premenstrual, like PMS, is like, it's almost like a light switch goes off. And we're like, oh, well, that's gone. Okay, I guess I'm okay now, right? And then lo and behold, it kind of comes back, right? So being in the void, you can oscillate in and out of the intensity of it. But you can also acknowledge that there is a place in my life at which I am at where I don't feel like I have the answers to the questions I have. You may feel a sense of powerlessness. You may even feel a sense of despair at times. Again, this is like when it's like super intense. You may wonder, like, what am I doing? Not just who am I or what's the purpose of life? Like, these are big questions, but it may just be like, what is my next step? Am I doing what I'm meant to do? It may feel like you're trying to grasp at things. You're trying to grasp at answers. It says slow connection. I hope everything's okay. I would really appreciate it if you could just quickly drop me an emoji or anything just to let me know you can hear me and see me. I'm going to try and make this as packed and punchy as I possibly can. There's a lot to say, but essentially the void isn't a place where you stay forever. But it's a place that feels like forever when you're in it sometimes. It's also related to mental health. It can be related to mental health as well, right? If there is a struggle mentally, right? Emotionally, I mean, we're not just our own mind, right? But the mind is a place where our parts, the aspects of ourselves do a lot of talking. The mind is a place where the parts of ourselves that we've created to stay safe in the world do a lot of talking, right? There's a part of me that's like, I don't know, girl, like, are you sure you're ready? Like, did you prepare today, right? And that shows up as voices in my head, right? So the other piece of this too is that as much as we want to have structure, as much as we want to have an answer, as much as we want to know what's coming next, when will this be over? When will I be out of this? The void is a spiritual experience in many ways, right? It's a shedding of the old and a renewing of what always has been, right? It's a shedding of the old and a renewal of who you've always been, right? And when the truth of you is allowed to exist, when you give yourself permission to exist. And when you feel like you're just not yourself, or it's just not what is meant to be, the truth of you, when it feels like that's not happening, or you're not acting from that place, or you're not resourced from that self energy, we want to know when it's over. We want to know what we can do to get out of it. Hi, Sherry. Sherry, I just have to tell you how truly grateful I am to have you, not just in my life. I know it's like through the internet. Hi, gorgeous. But just watching your journey of dispelling yourself, like just unfolding, and this like beautiful, there's like this fire and softness in what you do and how you show up. And I just want to tell you how much I appreciate that. I like to think I have attracted really authentic souls in my life. And that's not by accident. I worked really fucking hard at being truthful. I've worked really fucking hard at being honest. I've worked really fucking hard at just being me in a world that sells you so many options of things that you can play around with. Kadoma, you were in my dream last night, P.S., by the way. You were in my dream. I'll try and remember a little bit more of it. It was good. It was really good. But yeah, there's no timeline for this other than your own power and determination when it feels authentic to make different decisions, to ask different questions to yourself. Yeah. To ask yourself different questions. Because if you're not satisfied with the answers to the questions you have, or there are none, ask different questions. Most of the time, what happens when we feel like we're in this void space, or like, what do I do? What's coming next? How do I? What should I? When should I? With whom should I? All of these are great questions. I love doing this kind of stuff with clients when I worked on with clients on visioning and coming up with ideas and structuring it and putting. I love those questions. They're fabulous. But first and foremost, there's a reason why at the beginning of every cycle of initiation or every cycle of working with a client, we always talk about these two pieces in relationship to one another. Sherry, could you just drop me an emoji and let me know that you can see me and hear me? It tells me slow connection, but I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I'm talking real fast. I don't know what it's talking about. But there's two things. Identity, the who that I am, believe that I am, the I and the I am, the isness of me, the self that I believe I am. Identity, who you believe you are. And what is it that you want? And that desire can be big, it can be small things, it can be a general thing, like I want to feel more free, right? I want to change careers, I want to find a partner, I want to have a baby, I want to like start a new program and fill it with 1,000 people, I want to start a Facebook group. It's all of these things. Okay, thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Kadoma. The desire, it's not that it doesn't matter. It's just that it could be a multitude of things. And the desire is the desire is the desire, right? But it's always in relationship to who you believe you are at the point at which you have the desire. And if these two pieces in relationship are too far apart or not congruent with one another, then you're going to feel like you have a void. Because what do you have? You have too much space between these two. And they need to come together in the sense that, oh, there's my husband coming. In the sense that, let's pick a desire you want. Let's just do something very easy. For all my visionaries out there, you want to put an offer out there and you want to fill it to the maximum. Let's say you want to, when I put offers out, I'm like, I want to fill it with 16 people. That's always like a dream number, 12 or 16. It's always pretty intimate. Do I believe I'm somebody right now that can hold all the energy of a launch, that can fill it, that knows 16 people? Do I believe in my work? Do I believe that I can follow through? Do I believe I'm committed? Do I believe that I'm smart enough, good enough? Who do you believe you are in relationship to what it is you want? It's really that simple. Who do you believe you are in relationship to what it is that you want? And if this space is too vast, if it's not congruent, then there's work to be done, right? There's healing to be done. There's attention to those small details to be done. Sorry, I got a little thrown off. My husband walked in. I forgot to tell. Hi, honey.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. I made you coffee, cafe au lait. I was feeling that need to make something happen. So this is a conversation that I had. I've had this conversation many times, and this is especially true. Yes, closing that gap, Kadoma. This is especially true for if you have your own online business or your own personal project where you are the boss, you're the one to make the decisions, you are the CEO of the whole thing. If you're the one in charge and you're not feeling like a boss, like you're not feeling like you're the top of anything for whatever reason, it's winter, dark night of the soul, there's whatever, relationship problems, I'm having a struggle with my body, I'm having a struggle with my health, like any human things we go through, they can kind of feel like they take us down a peg or two. If we just need a break from social media, and that's like the main way that you get your business, anything can happen that can kind of take you out of that, like, oof, I've got it, right? And there needs to be acknowledgement that happens, first of all. This is just something that happens. People go through things. People have depressive moments. People get anxious. People are just doing the best that they can with the resources that they have. Okay? And so that can be happening. And sometimes, even if it's not happening, you can still get caught in this mental, I want to call it like mental masturbation, because it feeds on itself, right? And there's like this kind of getting off on it, or there's this complacency that this is like how I'm viewing the world, or there's this, I'm just not even conscious that this is how I see it. If you feel like you're always having to work on your vision or your business or your desire in order for it to get there, in order for you to say, I want to get it so that it's working. It's not working yet. There's like so many things. If you're always constantly trying to get somewhere with your vision or your desire or your business or whatever it is that you're putting out in the world, at what point are you going to be satisfied? At what point is it enough? At what point is it good? At what point is it at a place where you can relinquish this energy you put into making it work, as opposed to fluidly owning it, fluidly embodying it, living it, being it, right? And I just think that sometimes when we're in this mindset of making something work all the time, getting people to like respond to us, like us, join us, pay us, whatever it is, right? I just think that's really hard. I think that's just so much pressure. I think it leads to burnout. I think it exacerbates already an inclination to feel depressed or have a depressed sensation in your body. I think it leads to coping mechanisms like avoidance, shutting down, using any kind of vices. Ask me about wine in the winter. Oh, baby, let me tell you. Many nights. This dark night of the soul, baby. So I'm going to just make sure that I didn't miss anything here. I think the main piece I'm getting at is the void is unavoidable. It's a standstill. It's a place at which you have to use different approaches to moving through difficult things. So no, you can't work it away. You can't meditate it away. You can't drink it away. You can't smoke it away. Yeah, so Kadoma, like, here's the thing. I feel like when you really step away for an authentic reason, not necessarily like I'm stepping away because I need a break because my nervous system is like thrashed and crashed. I mean, there's like multiple reasons why we have to step away, right? But when there's this like genuine place of I'm stepping away or I'm pulling back because I want to just really honor my needs. I want to be more present. I want to just remember who I am without my social media identity. We need, yes, wine and wine, baby. I want to remember who I am without my online identity. Like, I'm somebody who likes to take walks. I like to scroll Board Panda. I like to cook for my family. I like to hang laundry on the line. I like to chop wood. This winter, I like to master making different fires, like, very quickly. I'm somebody who can help people master emotional fluidity and unburden heavy shit they've been carrying in this lifetime and lifetimes before. I'm that too. I'm a teacher. I've been working at my children's school. That's been amazing. I'm really fucking good at that. I'm great at, working with kids, tutoring kids and helping them read. Like, don't forget who you are outside of how you show up online. Because we're just so much more than that. We're just so much more. And I think the void often comes to remind us of that and almost force us into that. And then it's this it's this other place of we're going to get right down to the places that you don't go because you don't have to, because we can like avoid a lot of feelings and things in this world. It makes it very easy to avoid it. People pay good money to avoid difficult things in life, right? But like the void is there to kind of upturn. And so if you've been feeling that in the last year, I just think that things that happened in 2020 reverberated, and here we are left with the aftermath of that. And it doesn't have to be bad. The void isn't bad. Like, not feeling your feelings isn't bad. None of this is bad. Like, feeling depressed isn't bad. Going through the dark night of the soul isn't bad. But there are ways to make it more fluid, where energy can continue to move even if it's dark, dense, and heavy. Yeah, we are more than our online presence. So that's what I wanted to say about that. I don't know what's coming next for me. There's a part of me that wants to do a ceremony and really just cut all the cords to the last, 7 years of being online and showing up in this way and like having this idea that I run a business. There's a part of me that really wants to slice all of that old away. Just cut. There's just this sensation that I almost can't get around it. Like it's an inevitability. There's no fear in it. There's kind of excitement. There's absolutely no shame in it. There's no fear. There's just this awareness that my work has really shifted it's really changed quite a bit. I changed quite a bit. So I'm not sure what's coming next. I'm not sure how it's going to show up. But I do know that just like you, we all have incredibly powerful gifts to offer the world. And I just really invite a real shift in how we show up to do that. I really welcome in, this idea that just to tell the truth, right? Just tell yourself the truth. Let yourself tell the truth. If it's hard, say it's hard. If it's easy, say it's easy. There was a funny thing. I had my 2 babies, my births, and they were both amazing. They were great. But I kind of didn't shout it from the rooftops and celebrate that because I had this idea that, well, this isn't a very nice thing to do because there's a lot of space that should be taken up right now for women to share their stories of birth trauma because that's more important, right? But what a sad thing because they were good births and that gives hope to women who are afraid of that process because it's really intense. But I did have 2 great births and they were amazing. Okay, that's all I wanted to share for now. I really appreciate you all being here. I know I say the same things over and over, and hopefully I say them in different ways. And I do hope that there's something that you can take out of it. There is a part of me that's like, Leona, are you sure you said everything? I think I'll just remind you, if you're not getting the answers to the questions that you have, you need to be asking different questions. And most of the time, those questions are, who do I believe I am? And who am I in relationship to what it is I want? Or who do I believe? And from there, when I work with clients one-on-one, what reveals itself is like a little constellation of about 2 to 3, sometimes 4 major playing parts of you, or voices in your head, or blocks, whatever you want to call them. But there's 3 to 4 pieces within you that need to be freed, relinquished of whatever heavy burdens, density, energy, stories, timelines, cords, however you want to put it. But there's something that is being held, a belief that's being held that actually was never yours to hold. Okay? And so when those 3 to 4 pieces in your constellation, in other words, the constellation of parts of you are, I just say constellation because it's like they're all in relationship to each other. That's what a constellation is, right? And so once that's worked upon, it frees up so much space, mental space, emotional, it frees up space for you to actually become more honest and more truthful. Okay. I really appreciate you all being here. It really means a lot to me. I love doing lives. I am very comfortable doing them, but I'm also human. That's like, oh my gosh, it's been a hell of a minute here. So thank you. Sandra, it's been really lovely having you. I really enjoy your presence when I do these as well. It really inspires me to just be like, tell it like it is. Also, shout out to Honey and Flint, which is a beautiful shop. Look at this gorgeous piece that I got. I mean, it's pretty high top, so not sure I'll wear it too much without a cover, but feeling good, feeling great. Okay. Love you all.